So big things are happening, and this is something that we've all been expecting. What is going on over in the Middle East? What is going on between Israel and Hamas? How is the people of Gaza, how are they being treated? And what is the role that the United States is playing? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today, because there is now more updates as to what is going on. So, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So the first big piece of information that we need to address is that Israel and Hamas have agreed to extend the ceasefire, extend this truce for 2 more days. It was originally expected to end today on Tuesday. However, they decided they want to end it on Thursday. So additional 2 days. Now, I want to be very clear on a couple things. First, by extending this ceasefire an additional 2 days, there are more hostages that are going to be released. Every single day that we extend it, there's another 10 hostages that will be released to Israel from Hamas. That's the good news. The bad news, or potentially bad news according to multiple experts, is that for every day Hamas is extending this truce, the problem is they are using those additional days, according to the reports from people inside of Gaza. They're using those days to regroup, to reevaluate, and figure out another way they can attack Israel on their home soil. That's what they're hearing. That's what we are expecting very soon. Now, one of the messages I received the other day I thought was interesting, because this person was saying how they are so glad nobody else is losing their lives over in Gaza. That this ceasefire, it's just amazing. People are able to, move around. They go back to their home, which potentially is in northern Gaza. But that's not essentially true. Look at this. It says Israel reports Gaza truce violations amid bombing and shootings. Israel is reporting this, that Hamas continues to attack. But at the same time, Hamas has also reported that there were violations in the truce agreement, but they never elaborated on it. And so this is what is causing concern, is that both parties are not following through with this truce. And if they're not going to follow through, could this truce just fall apart immediately? Well, here's the reason why this would be a problem. We know this has been extended for 2 more days. Remember, I just said that people are trying to travel back to their homes, potentially in northern Gaza. Right now, the majority of people are right in the center, which is it's a very small area anyway, but about 2 million people all crammed into a very small section of Gaza. But the reason why that's important is because Israel is saying that if what happened in northern Gaza worked, it got Hamas out. They were able to go and get back hostages, right? So their plan worked. So now they're thinking, maybe we do the same thing in the southern part of Gaza. Well, what the U.S. is warning is no, don't do that. The U.S. warns Israel over the next phase of military operation into southern Gaza. I want to read you this right here. It says the Biden administration is issuing urgent warnings to Israel over the next phase of its military operation in Gaza, saying a campaign in the south of the Strip must not be carried out to the same level of destruction as took place in the north of the territory. The administration is proposing that Israel agrees to areas of deconfliction to include United Nations facilities and shelters that would not be subject to active military fighting, a senior administration officer said in a call with reporters Monday night. Okay? Says you cannot have the sort of scale of displacement that took place in the north replicated in the south. All right? Says the majority of the population of Gaza, more than 2 million people, are now concentrated in the center and the south of the Strip. The entire enclave is a mere 140 1 square miles. Okay? That is important to note because what we are facing is additional attacks. But if we can be very clear that Israel cannot attack this building, cannot attack here and here and here, that makes it a lot easier because then people have a place to go. Now, here's something else you need to understand. The longer this war goes on, the more issues we're going to face here in the United States. It's just the facts. This is what we've been told for months. Time and time again, we've been told that the United States needs to step back. We cannot get involved in Israel and Hamas's war. Mainly because Iran is the one that is backing Hamas. And as long as Iran continues to have money, Hamas is still going to be a threat. Well, here's where things are at right now. We are now seeing that Iranian-backed groups are attacking the United States. We saw this in Iran, or in Iraq, and in Syria, where the Iranian-backed groups were hitting U.S. troops. They were hitting U.S. military bases. We saw in, I believe, like 47 days, there was like 66 attacks on U.S. troops. Well, it's now hitting the United States. There's a municipal water authority in Al-Aqaba, which was hacked by an Iranian-backed cyber group. I want to read you this, okay? Because this is where we're at. And this is a problem. It says right here, I want to read you this. It says, Cyber Avengers claim they have taken responsibility for several attacks worldwide, including 10 water treatment stations in Israel as of October 30th. So Cyber Avengers is their name, okay? They're a hacking group. Now, this attack, it took place in Pennsylvania. This attack on this the water supply, okay? They're the municipal water authority. Now, according to reports, nothing. There hasn't been any, cause for concern, other than the fact that there was an attack. But again, it's an attack. It doesn't stop there. Iran also adds a sophisticated warship to the Caspian Sea fleet. It's a 1,400-ton Deliman destroyer. It's capable of launching cruise missiles and torpedoes. Okay. Again, doesn't stop there. Iran is also finalizing a deal to buy Russian fighter jets. Yeah, that's the problem, is these things continue to happen. Well, what we keep hearing from Iran and other countries is that these things won't happen if the United States backs out. But here's the problem. It's actually crunch time for Congress to provide additional aid to Ukraine and to Israel. Lawmakers return from their Thanksgiving recess. They're returning this week, and the expectation is they're going to try to push forward on some type of aid. The problem is it's $106 billion for Ukraine. There's some money in there for Gaza. There's some money in there for $14.3 billion for Israel as well. But this isn't what many other countries want. They don't want the United States jumping in, funding this, because if we fund it, it just continues. And I read the other day that according to the Israeli foreign minister, they're saying that this war is costing Israel about $55 billion. And yet the United States is going to send Israel $14.3 billion. It's interesting. How is the United States pretty much footing the bill for a third of this? So just wanted to bring that to your attention. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of tensions going on right now between Israel and Hamas. It is pulling the United States in. It's pulling Iran in. It's pulling Russia in. Again, this war is widening. But as we get more information, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But that is what we know as of right now. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.